You need to put that away. He said that yesterday.
Yeah,
You need to not- it's going to be thrown away from now.
Okay.
He did tell the whole class.
I did tell the whole class. I've said it multiple times. Excuse me, Wyatt. Don't make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. Just don't bring it again.
Is there next one?
Yes.
This isn't that hard, but I just like that.
No, you're good. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at these. Will you grab the lights while you're up, please, Sheldon?
Hey, is this 411?
This is 411, I believe. 411, this is the last section notes for Unit 4. So I would start gathering Unit 4. Monday when we do study guide for Unit 4. Tomorrow's Alex. Monday will be the study guide. You'll work on the study guide for Unit 4. Tuesday's the test. I would start gathering up. If you don't have Unit 4 notes in one specific folder, which you should, I would start trying to gather them up because I'm going to be checking on Monday. Okay? So easy 10 points for just keeping the notes. If you've been absent, look on Google Classroom and get the notes that you're missing from there, and I can give you hard copies if you need me to. So what we're going to look at today is we are going to finish up lines, and we are going to look at scatter plots and lines to best fit. So a scatter plot is used to investigate the relationship between variables. So a scatter plot is how we graph two things and they're not going to give you a perfect line. So a scatter plot is how we deal with data that doesn't give you a perfect line. It's going to look like a line, but all your all your points are not going to be in a perfect straight line. They're going to kind of be scattered, which is why it's the name scatter plot. So that's what scatter plot, the name comes from. Your points are going to be kind of scattered throughout. They're not going to be a perfect straight line. The line of best fit, or correlation, means how the points in the scatter plot are related. So if I look at the word correlation, is how the points are related. And we're going to talk about kind of what that looks like. Don't make it harder than it is. Correlation, I know, is a fancy word, but it's just how things are related. So we have three correlations we're going to talk about. Correlation and slope are kind of similar. As I look at the one on the far left, if you look closely, you can see all those points. This is a scatter plot because the points are scattered. They're not perfectly in a straight line. But I see a pattern. What do I look like all these lines are doing? They're increasing. So as my x values increase, my y values are increasing. As I move to the right, all my points kind of move upward. So this is a positive correlation. And you can also think, if I think about drawing a line, it'd be going uphill, so it'd be a positive slope. So correlation and slope kind of are similar to that. The second one, scatter plot, the points are not a perfect line, so they are scattered. It looks like as my x values increase, as I move to the right, what happens to my y values? They go down. So this is a negative correlation. And you will see that this kind of looks like a negative slope. So correlation and slope are kind of similar. If they go down, it's negative. If it goes up, it's positive. And then the last one, if you look closely, all the points are kind of scattered throughout. There's not you don't see, guys, listen up. You don't see a correlation. You don't see a pattern of the points going up or the points going down. So this is no correlation or a none. So you can either have a positive correlation, they're going up, negative, they're going down, or no correlation, which means they're just scattered. There's no pattern. Any questions so far? Okay, now the line of best fit. What we're going to do with the line of best fit is we are going to draw a line of best fit, and it is going to be a line that goes through the middle of your points, which is kind of the name makes sense. Line of best fit. It is a line that goes through, it's the line that fits most of the points. So let me pass rulers out. And we are going to look at drawing the line of best fit for the scatter plot. Now obviously this is a scatter plot because they don't form a perfect straight line. All your points are kind of scattered. However, I do see some sort of correlation. What does my correlation look like for this graph on the bottom? Negative. Negative. It looks like they're going down. Don't make this stuff harder than it is. So, listen up, guys. If I have a negative correlation, my slope will also be negative. So I want you to choose which of these three lines best fits is the line of best fit. Which of these three options can you take off right off the bat? C. Why can you take C off right off the bat? It's not positive. What's the slope for C? Do what? 0. What type of line would y equals 60 be? Horizontal. So y equals 60 would be a horizontal line straight across. Well, does that look like the line of best fit? No. So we're going to cross C off. So as you're doing, just a second, as you're doing these, use common sense. If it's a negative correlation, I should have a negative slope. Cross off the ones that don't have a negative slope. If it's a positive correlation, you should have a positive slope. Now all the rest of these three options have negative slopes. Let's look at my y-intercept. If I draw my line of best fit, what's the y-intercept for A? 80. Does it look like if I have a y-intercept of 80, that would be the line of best fit? No, it looks like it's going to be above all the points. So it's not going to be A. So I have to choose between B or D. So kind of use common sense with these. So as I look at this, let's go ahead and graph B. Let's graph these. I have a y-intercept of 75. So I put a point on the y-axis at 75. This is line B. So I'm going to graph my two remaining ones and see which one kind of draws the line that's in the middle. My slope is 2 over negative 2 over 5. So I'm going to go down 2. Now be careful. My interval goes by what? My intervals go by 5. So when I go down 2, I'm going to go down halfway, not like 2 intervals, just halfway. So down 2, right 5, something like that. That would be negative 2/5. And then if you draw the line, something like that. Okay, there's B. And then let's draw D and see which one looks like it's in the middle of the points best. D also has a y-intercept of 75 right there. But my slope is negative 3/5. So I'm going to go down 3, a little further down, right 5. So I'm going to go a little further down, draw that line. That's line D. This is line B. Which line seems to be in the middle of the points? B. So B is your line of best fit. So like I said, don't make this harder than it is. Use common sense. That will help you cross off some of the choices and then kind of go from there. Okay, let's flip it to the back. Let me look at a couple more examples with you on the back. Okay, let's look at 1. Which equation best matches the line of best fit? So if I look at 1, this is a scatter plot because the points don't make a perfectly straight line. First of all, is this a positive or a negative correlation?
Negative.
Negative. It's going downhill, so my slope should also be negative. So since my slope should be negative, which ones can I cross off?
A and B.
A and B. So use kind of multiple choice, whatever, testing skills, and cross off the choices that don't make sense. This is not positive slope because it's going downhill. So it's either C or D. So now that I look at C or D, let's go ahead and graph those and see what I have. So if I have negative 2, I'm going to put a point at negative 2. That's my y-intercept. I'm going to graph C real quick. And I'm going to go down 3, right 5. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's line C. Okay? So there's line C. So mark off the ones that don't make sense, and then you can kind of sketch the graph for the other two and see which one makes the most sense. Let's graph D. Negative 2, but my slope is negative 5, right 3. So down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Similar to what we reviewed kind of yesterday. Draw a line. This is D. Use common sense. Which one goes through the middle of them? C.
This is much easier than the way other way.
Yeah, it is. I like the way they do this. Okay, any questions on that?
Fun.
Okay, let's look at 6 real quick. Let's look at 6.
No.
Now, if I look at 6, we're going to do this a little differently because it's good review. What form are my 4 equations in? Standard form. Standard form is easy to find the x and y intercepts. We're going to use x and y intercepts for this. It's going to a little bit of review, so stay with me, but we can do it. Let's look at my line. If I look at my scatter plot, what does it look like would be good x and y intercepts for my scatter plot? So let's look at my x-intercept. If I draw a line real quick, where does it look like I would cross the x-axis at? If I have to guess. Right here. So if I draw a line of best bit, we can draw a line of best bit like this. And it looks like it's going to cross the x-axis. That would be the x-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like my x-intercept will be kind of close to 5. What does it look like my y-intercept would be close to? Negative 4. So I'm looking for which equation gives me an x-intercept of 5, or close to 5, and a y-intercept of negative 4. Now let's go through each one real quick. How do I find the x-intercept? What do I plug 0 in for? Plug 0 in for y. So if I plug 0 in for y for my top equation, I get 2x equals negative 12. If I divide by 2, my x-intercept is negative 6. Well, is my x-intercept negative 6? No, so it's not A. And then let's go through the next one. 2x, let's try the x-intercept. Plug in 0 for y, which gets rid of this part. 2x equals 12. My x-intercept is 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll keep that. It's kind of close. It's a lot closer than negative 6, so we'll keep B for now. Let's look at C, x-intercept. If I get rid of the y part, 3x equals negative 8. Divide by 3, x is, use a calculator, get a decimal. 2.6. Well, is my x-intercept anywhere close to negative 2.6? No. And then let's do D. 3x equals 8. Divide by 3. So x is positive 2.6. Well, is my x-intercept close to 2.6? No. So it's B. So even though it's not exact, we're looking for the one that is closest. Go ahead. You with us? Okay. Any questions on these? Okay, go ahead. I want you to try these 4 that are on here. There's none of these on your homework, so I want you to practice these because there'll be some on the test. So try these 4 real quick on this page.
The bottom 4,
Whatever.
okay, whatever's left.
Whatever, the 4 that are left on this page. So try these 4 real quick.